economies, even reshape society. This will redefine how we work, from automating complex processes to writing new code, to creating applications and experiences that were impossible before. For some, this technological leap might feel like a threat, but I invite you to think about the possibilities. It will take our innovation to a whole new level. Imagine having your own ultimate, all-powerful brainstorming partner. This course itself was co-created with AI over many brainstorming sessions and passionate debates. Here's a quick note from my AI partner.
Remember, even the most advanced AI systems can't replicate the creativity and ingenuity of a human mind. So don't worry about losing your job to a robot just yet, unless, of course, you're a robot reading this. Smiley.
It does have a nice sense of humor. Whether you're a senior executive or an aspiring leader, it's critical that you learn how to adapt and use this advanced technology, its limitations, and why it could be disruptive for your business and your career. My name is Tomer Cohen. I'm LinkedIn's Chief Product Officer, and for the majority of my career, I've been leading, designing, and building products powered by AI. I look forward to sharing key tools and insights to help you reinvent the future of your business. It's incredible to see people's reactions to generative AI applications. At first, people get really excited. Wow, it could do this for me? This is something that is usually very dear and near to their daily work. But sometimes that excited tone is replaced by a worrisome one when they realize the impact it can have on their daily work and responsibilities. And that's not surprising. Today's AI can do anything, from seamlessly automating your workflows to analyzing your financial situation to offering personalized advice on enhancing your business model. From writing speeches to summarizing complex text to generating videos, movies, even creating new Broadway shows. From writing code, understanding code, reviewing somebody else's code, finding security breaches in your code, and even fixing them for you. I can go on and on and on. This list is endless, and the potential is truly enormous. One of the most powerful ways to think of AI is to think of it as your co-pilot, your incredible collaborator, or that personal genie you always wanted. Imagine having an assistant extremely intelligent and capable working alongside you on everything you're trying to accomplish. That assistant has been exhaustively trained on all public knowledge available, every book, every piece of literature, every artwork and text that exists in the world. It has developed superior comprehension and generative skills, and its ability to learn, understand, and communicate surpasses anything you have experienced before. It doesn't know you yet, but it would if you let it. Imagine a world in which AI can take your business idea and help make that a reality. What would you like to accomplish with it? Pause this video and take a few moments to think about one thing you or your business could use help with today and how this technology can help assist with it. And when you're ready, click play to continue. Now, if you're feeling unsure about how you or your business can benefit from this technology, don't worry about it. This can feel overwhelming, but by the end of this course, you'll have many ideas. If you're feeling somewhat uncomfortable, that's also expected. This technology can feel very personal, and when used incorrectly, it could lead to unintended, even dangerous outcomes. If you already came up with many ideas, that's also not surprising. The implications for you and your company are vast, whether it's about transforming an internal process or a product you have. Every aspect of your work can potentially get enhanced. Keep in mind that failing to adopt AI in your business can also potentially place you at a disadvantage. As competitors will learn this new technology, and they'll start creating exponentially better products than yours, with significantly higher productivity and lower costs. That's why in this course, we'll learn how to keep up with this technology and reimagine your business or endeavor with generative AI models. Generative AI models refer to artificial intelligence that can autonomously create or generate new content. In my previous course about developing an AI-first mindset, we discussed how AI is used for analysis, classification, optimization, and recommendation. Now, these new advanced AI models can understand patterns in relationships and data, and then use that understanding to comprehend and then produce or synthesize new information. This massive advancement in AI was made possible due to a number of factors, but arguably the three most important ones were the development of innovative deep learning architectures, such as transformers and diffusions, which are facilitating more complex and efficient AI models. Number two is the rapid expansion and access to computing power, especially cloud computing, which has made compute more accessible and cost-effective for AI researchers and companies, like OpenAI, who rely on it for developing and training their models. And number three is the ability to learn and train on an unprecedented data scale, essentially the entire internet. Take, for example, an AI model that's trained on thousands of paintings from famous artists. The AI model will learn the styles, the patterns, and techniques from these paintings, and then utilize this knowledge to create new and sometimes unique works of art. Check out, for example, a photo I took of the skyline of New York and how I recreated it in the style of a Renaissance painter while adding some science fiction elements to it. That's pretty cool, right? Art is just one example. Let's talk about customer support. The latest AI models are already trained on customer support best practices from every polished knowledge base available. Applying it within the setting of your own business can already enhance your customer experience materially. And if you're using a conversational AI model, customers might not even realize that they're talking to a machine unless you tell them. Now imagine you can fine-tune it with your own data and include the uniqueness of each customer, your business model, your desired operating system, and your principles. You can then utilize this knowledge and establish a deeper connection with your customers and help provide the best service that matches your brand. Imagine building unique customer support models for healthcare or travel or government or utility companies. It's astonishing how extensible this technology can be. AI can be used to create new products or designs. It can be used to reimagine user experiences, to reinvent workflows, and to improve decision-making. The list is endless. And as a result, AI has the potential to significantly benefit and disrupt businesses across a wide range of sectors. Now, the disruption part might sound concerning, but the more you know, the better position you'll be in to leverage this technology positively for your business and for your customers. If you do have concerns or reservations, write them down, and hopefully we'll be able to address them by the end of this course. In the next few sections, I'll share several key components that are typically involved in every AI project. I cover some of them in more depth in my previous course in case you want to check it out, but for the purposes of this course, you only need to know the components mentioned in this section. So let's get started. The most important aspect of every project, especially AI projects, is the objective. In the case of AI, this is about your algorithm's objective. What is your goal and what do you want to accomplish? It's important to know that AI ultimately learns to achieve a certain objective. Think for a moment. What's your objective? Your algorithm's objective should ultimately ladder up to your business goal. And as we discussed before, when it comes to AI, the options are vast. This is why it's necessary to start with what you're trying to accomplish as a business and not with what is AI capable of doing. For example, in industries that rely heavily on creativity and novelty, you can use it to come up with new ideas. You can generate personalized textbooks in education. You can generate new levels in game design. You can even create new clothing styles in fashion. But in industries that rely heavily on processes and workflows, you can use it to automate tasks, streamline decision-making, and personalize a customer journey. This can range from B2B software companies that manage complex back-end flows to medical companies looking to simplify their patient experience. As we'll discuss later in this course, AI can power those end-to-end workflows for you. At LinkedIn, we often look at AI as the matchmaker, helping connect job seekers with their dream companies, or brands with their buyers, or connecting communities of professionals looking to learn from each other. Now, with generative AI models, you can take that even further, offering AI as a co-pilot for professionals to help them accomplish their aspirations, all with the mission of connecting professionals to make them more productive and successful. In addition, a key part of our objective is to ensure we create a more equitable economic future for every professional. That's why equity is a big part of how we define our algorithm's objective. If you haven't made note of your business objective, make sure you pause this video and write it down before moving to the next one. And don't try to get it perfect, just write a few ideas. Start with what challenges are most important for your business to solve over the next few years. You can always revisit the objective later. As we go through the course, think of how the lessons and takeaways connect back to your objective. In AI, data matters a lot. If you've been tracking AI for a while or took my previous course, you know the reason for it. AI learns and trains itself with examples, past examples and real-time examples. And those data samples are the fuel that helps AI achieve its objective. The fuel analogy was real. Several years ago, data was even coined as the new oil. The more quality data you had, the better the results you got, the bigger the competitive moat you developed, and the more successful you ultimately became as a company. The latest AI models are challenging that competitive advantage. One of the most impressive aspects of recent generative AI models is that they're already trained on the world's public knowledge. And now, that's accessible to everyone, which will make it a commodity over time. Recent developments also enable AI models to create synthetic mock data, or even learn without any data, which is useful in cold start situations where it's difficult or impossible to obtain examples of training data. These developments lower the barriers to entry for companies that otherwise would not be able to compete. So if you're in this no data camp, that's great news for you. But what does it mean for businesses that heavily rely on proprietary data that is either owned or controlled exclusively by them? Well, if that's you, it's time to rethink your strengths as a business and extend your abilities beyond data capabilities. Data alone will not be sufficient. That said, proprietary data still matters, especially if you can fine-tune the model towards a specific task. Now you might be asking, what is fine-tuning and why is it important? AI models like GPT, which stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer, are general-purpose AI models, which have a broader objective function and are already trained on all public knowledge. They know as much as possible and are designed to perform reasonably well in many tasks, just like generalists. ChatGPT, which is the conversational application of GPT, is one example of these models. But you can fine-tune these models to be specialists in a specific area by training them on unique examples you have. And during this fine-tuning process, the model will adjust its parameters to better fit your data while still learning the knowledge it has gained in the past. This allows the model to become a specialist in a specific area that you wanted to learn, while still being able to generate in a general way. Imagine taking athletes and training them to be distance runners or weightlifters or gymnasts. You can and probably should do the same with your application. Otherwise, your product will not be very different than anybody else's. You'll be relying on the same capability everybody else is using. Now you might be thinking that fine-tuning is your answer to maintaining some of your competitive advantage. But it's important to know that creating a private instance of your own fine-tuned model can be very expensive and difficult to maintain. We'll talk more about that later in the AI limitation sections of this course. Now let's discuss the AI model, the algorithm. This is the brain of the operation. It defines how the model will learn patterns and relationships within the data, and then apply that knowledge to perform an intellectual task. In the case of generative models, it uses the knowledge it has gained to create new content in the form of images, text, video, audio, and more. With recent developments in AI, we are now experiencing a new foundational model, that sets the basis for many AI systems that we'll use in the future. A foundational model is considered a new paradigm for building AI systems. It becomes a starting point for a wide range of downstream tasks. Looking back at categorical evolution of AI systems, we started with the rule-based algorithms, and those made decisions based on a set of explicit logical rules. That later evolved to search and optimization algorithms that focus on efficiently exploring solution spaces and finding the optimal results. Think of a search engine. Then we had machine learning algorithms, such as supervised, unsupervised, and reinforcement learning, which were used to analyze and classify data. Those really paved the way for massive progress in computer vision and natural language processing. Machine learning then branched into deep learning algorithms, which became the state-of-the-art technology in image classification, object detection, and natural language understanding. GPT, the generative pre-trained transformer we discussed before, sets the ground for a new foundational model. It is a large language model that is trained on a massive amount of text data and is able to generate new text in response to user input. It is based on transformers, which is a deep learning architecture that was invented in 2017 and became very popular over time. In my previous course, I mentioned this as one of the most exciting developments in AI. Transformers are a type of neural network that uses a technique called self-attention to identify what parts of an input, such as an article, are most essential, focusing on the relevant parts and ignoring the rest. This in turn helps the network better understand the input and makes more accurate predictions. Transformers are used in a variety of natural language tasks, from generating text based on input prompts, think about ChatGPT, to summarizing or translating text from one language to another with high accuracy. For example, I recently used GPT when I published a post in English and did a translation to Hindi, and the result was incredible. Instead of simply translating the words, the model understood the intent of my post and then rewrote that in Hindi in the style of a native speaker. I got many compliments for my Hindi. Another recent foundational model is the diffusion model. Diffusion models have emerged in recent years as a powerful new approach to generative modeling, specifically in the field of image generation. They work by gradually transforming a starting image, usually starting from random noise, into a target image, like a photograph, for a series of small, randomly determined steps. Due to their ability to produce photorealistic images, diffusion models have potential applications in a wide range of domains. For instance, they could be used to accurately identify or classify objects in images, restore images, and generate rich media for use in many applications. Lastly, another promising area of AI research is called reinforcement learning from human feedback. This approach uses signals from human evaluators, such as upvotes or downvotes, to improve the performance of an AI model. By incorporating this feedback, the model learns to adjust its decisions based on how well they align with human expectations. This approach can be particularly effective in domains where it's difficult to define clear objective functions for the model to optimize for. For example, a social media moderation AI might use reinforcement learning from human feedback to better identify offensive or harmful content and then limit its spread on the platform. Now, there's another very valuable tool for refining AI models, which is called prompt engineering. But the application of it goes far greater. It's a whole new interaction model. So let's learn about that next. Do you know how to talk to AI? The name for this is called prompt engineering, and this is a key element in generative AI applications, and one that business leaders need to be aware of if they want to maximize the potential of this technology. If you're less familiar with it, prompt engineering is the process of designing how to ask AI to generate the desired output you want. One of the biggest challenges in generative AI models is controlling the outputs. Business leaders like yourself need to be sure that the AI models they are using are generating useful, accurate, and relevant results. That's where prompt engineering comes in. By carefully crafting prompts, you can help the AI model understand what you're asking it to do and encourage it to produce the most useful results for you. If you don't know how to enter the right prompt, you probably won't get the right response. The best prompts tend to be specific, nuanced, and extremely well articulated. Check out this simple example about explaining quantum physics. I can use the prompt to simply ask, "What is quantum physics?" And the result will be pretty generic and standard with a short paragraph. But I can take my prompt to the next level and ask it to write it in a certain length, in a certain style. In this case, I ask it to write it for my 10-year-old kid with a certain structure. I also asked it to write it as a passionate science teacher. We're trying to make it fun, engaging, and easy to understand. Notice that I used uppercase letters to indicate the importance of fun. And lastly, I ask it to avoid using jargon or listing too many nouns and adjectives. Notice the difference. The second prompt created a truly unique and engaging explanation. These prompt nuances can apply across many use cases. Think of a healthcare company that might want to use AI to synthesize information from medical records and then identify patterns in health data. By designing careful prompts that can extract the specific data they're after from very large datasets, in the prompt itself, they might want to explicitly call out their unique protocol for how to extract the data, and whether to put more or less emphasis on recent research as the basis for the response. Those prompt nuances can determine the success of them using AI. Another example is customer experience. A company might want to augment customer service inquiries with the right customer metadata into the prompt to generate accurate and more personalized responses to customer queries. They can even share in the prompt their customers' unique guidelines on how to handle certain edge cases with a step-by-step instructions about what to do and what not to do. Ultimately, prompt engineering is about providing the AI model with the right context and guidance in order to produce the desired results. There are many nuances to it, and simply entering a quick prompt will not take your AI to its full potential. It takes several tries and iterations, as you'll see for yourself once you play with it. It's also valuable to note that prompt engineering is connected to a concept called shot learning. Zero shot, one shot, and few shot learning refers to situations where AI is able to perform new tasks with very limited learning. Even zero learning, basically no data. Prompt engineering can be helpful in shot learning because a well-designed prompt can guide the AI model in the right direction, even with limited data to learn from. For example, consider an AI model that is being used to categorize images, like classifying types of birds. By designing a prompt that gives clear instructions about how to identify birds by using specific criteria, such as their beak shapes or feather colors, you can help make sure the AI understands what is it being asked to do and then categorize those birds' images correctly. As you probably understand by now, prompt engineering serves as a critical interface between the human and the machine. And by optimizing the prompts, you can make sure that the AI model is generating outputs that are truly useful and relevant to your business. It's really important that you try it for yourself. Take a specific task, like writing a marketing brief for your company using GPT chat, and spend at least 30 minutes trying to optimize the prompt. Get as close as possible to your desired outcome. Experiment with the language, the constraints you choose, the structure you write in, and the examples you wanted to learn from. Play with it, and you'll quickly see the difference in the results. And have some fun with it. AI has the potential to impact a wide range of processes and products across a variety of industries. Without a doubt, many of those implications can be relevant for you and your company. From productivity and efficiency, basically how can you do more with less using AI, to product innovation. How can you take your product experience to the next level? When we think about productivity and efficiency, workflow automation is a good place to start. AI can help streamline tasks across the company. These tasks don't have to be specific and basic. In fact, they can be pretty complex. Let's take reports as an example. Using the right prompt in the workflow, AI can play a key role in creating, integrating, analyzing, and summarizing reports into insights and action items. Not only saving time and resources, but also reducing errors and inconsistencies. Next, when coupled with automation, AI can start facilitating that end-to-end experience. In our customer service example, imagine being able to automate the entire workflow, starting from answering routine customer inquiries, then automatically logging tickets, finally working towards resolving the inquiries, and completely handling the back and forth with the customer. That's pretty remarkable, right? When you're able to combine tasks and workflows within a self-directed production, you can dramatically enhance your organizational productivity. This can be applied to many of your routine operations, from finance to marketing to sales to product development. And to make things even more powerful, you can use AI to play a critical role in enhancing your own data analytics capabilities. By integrating data reports from multiple sources, creating a new, more comprehensive dataset, generating synthetic data, which can mimic the properties of real data without exposing any sensitive information, and summarizing large datasets, making it easier to digest and understand the key findings. Essentially, you can train AI with your specific workflow and decision-making process and incorporate it as the brain of your operation. These capabilities are not only for internal processes. If your product or service includes workflows, like many B2B software companies, you can then extend these capabilities into your product to drive innovation. You can start incorporating AI across several dimensions in your product, across all your development cycle. AI can explore the design space for your product and help identify potential gaps or suggest new combinations or features or functionalities for you. Last and potentially most important, it could speed up innovation by taking on some of the creative heavy lifting. By modeling trends, patterns, and relationships in data, AI can generate new ideas and solutions that otherwise would not be apparent. This could be especially valuable when it comes to rapid product development. It could really help speed up time to market for innovative new ideas. With generative AI applications, no creative process has to start with a blank slate. You can jumpstart it easily with your AI brainstorming partner. Before you go to the next video, take a moment to brainstorm specific ways you can apply AI to your business. Given the business objective you outlined for yourself before, consider areas where you might be able to improve productivity or efficiency, and how you can use AI to inspire product innovation. Now that we understand how recent investments in AI might impact your business processes, let's go over several examples from a wide range of industries to give you a sense of what's possible. Whether or not your specific industry is mentioned, I'm sure you'll be able to draw similar patterns to your own work. Let's start with retail. We already talked about how AI could be used to personalize customer experiences. For example, an online clothing store could use AI to develop new clothing styles based on the customer feedback or purchase history. It can create personalized product recommendations for each shopper, or even simulate in-store retail experiences in order to optimize store layouts. In manufacturing, AI could be used to process design, product development, and even to optimize production. For example, a manufacturer could use generative AI to design a new car model or simulate multiple assembly line configurations, identifying the most efficient setup before implementing changes in the real world. In healthcare, AI could be used for tasks such as medical imaging, diagnostics, and drug development. For example, it could be used to provide diagnosis, create 3D medical images, or suggest new treatments or medications. In finance, AI could be used to enhance predictive analytics, algorithmic trading, and fraud detection. For example, a bank could use AI to do a better job at predicting risk in transactions, loan evaluations, or identifying potential fraud. In entertainment, AI could be used to create new sounds, music, or video. For example, a movie studio could use it to create new special effects or create realistic animations. It can even create an entirely new movie based on a script that was also generated by AI. In agriculture, AI could be used to optimize crop management and design new crop varieties with specific characteristics, such as drought resistance, by leveraging data on weather conditions, soil quality, and crop performance. In construction, AI could be used to design new buildings, optimize construction processes, or improve safety. By modeling construction methods, materials, and environmental factors, AI models could be used to simulate the construction process, or even identify potential problems before it even occur. In travel and hospitality, AI could be used to optimize resource allocation, enhance the customer experience, or improve logistics. For example, a hotel chain could use AI to make personalized recommendations and even write personalized notes for guests based on their preferences and past experiences. In advertising, AI could be used to generate completely new ad creatives to dramatically improve the accuracy of targeting. Imagine being able to create a highly personalized ad while leveraging real-time data to produce a one-of-a-kind experience for every user. In education, AI could be used to create adaptive content based on the learner's progress, coupled with dedicated AI tutors. The dream of personalized education can truly come to life. And in scientific research, one of the biggest challenges is keeping up with new studies and development. AI could be used to comprehend recent papers and keep scientists aware of any potential connections and breakthroughs that can elevate their work. It can dramatically accelerate scientific collaboration. Those are only a few examples of industries of product ideas. And as you can see, the potential applications of AI are far-reaching, and the examples here are just the tip of the iceberg. As the technology evolves and becomes more widely adopted, we will start seeing even more innovative applications. I encourage you to brainstorm ways AI could be applied to your specific industry and to your business. And as always, it's very powerful to think outside the box, especially when it comes to the potential applications of AI. You might be excited about the possibilities AI can offer for your company, but the AI implementation is not the goal in itself. It's a means to an end, one that should help you meet your strategic objectives. As we discussed earlier, the first and most important step is clearly defining your business objective. Without a clear understanding of what you're trying to accomplish, you will never achieve your goal. Think through the business problems you're trying to solve. Where are you looking to create the most impact for your company, and why is that the most important? Those could be process related. For example, a manufacturing company might want to focus on optimizing its production processes. Or a consumer internet company might want to reimagine its experience to increase customer loyalty. Start by setting out specific, measurable outcomes for your objective. And if successful, what's the change you would like to see? Next, you need to evaluate your current capabilities. What are your strengths and gaps in relation to the objective you chose? Understanding your current capabilities can help you determine where to start with AI and what types of projects might have the highest ROI for you. If your company, for example, does not have experience with AI, you might want to invest in training your employees on machine learning and data science first, so you can get the most out of your AI projects. Don't just think of AI as a way to close gaps. There's a good chance that AI can actually help you boost the strength you already have. As a mental model, don't start by asking yourself, where can I add AI? Ask yourself, given my objectives and my current state, and by thinking AI first, what can I do to create business value in a differentiated way? The third step is to identify the data needed to meet your objective. As we learned earlier with AI, data is no longer a competitive advantage as it used to be. I would assume, for example, that many small businesses will have to rely on pre-trained models like GPT and zero-shot learning. However, you still need to assess what kinds of data you will need and where you can get it from. It could be internal or external. And ideally, the data is unique, it's high quality, and it's differentiated to you. I covered this in depth in my previous AI mindset course if you'd like to learn more about it. The fourth step is to select the right types of AI systems and tools. Choosing the right tools and platforms can go a long way in maximizing your success. So evaluating different AI systems against your specific goals will really help you select the right one that fits your needs the best. In the next couple of videos, we'll learn more about how to make those decisions. The final step is to monitor results, refine and assess progress and risks. This way, you can make ongoing iterations and refinements to your projects to achieve the best outcome for you. It's also critical that you consider the potential risks that can arise with your AI projects, such as privacy concerns, bias in the data, copyright violation, or even lack of transparency, and take steps to address these issues up front. In this course, we have a whole section dedicated to it, given how important this is. So there you have it. If you're looking to get started, these 5 guidelines will help you make the most out of AI and unlock the potential for your business. So number 1, clearly define your business objective. Number 2, evaluate your current capabilities. Number 3, identify the data you need. Number 4, select the right types of AI systems and tools. And lastly, number 5, monitor results, refine, and assess progress and risks. Now that you have an idea of your company's needs, let's go deeper into how to select the right type of AI for your business. There are many different types of AI systems and tools, and choosing the right one is crucial for success. For additional context, check out the course notes for the current generative AI landscape map. But let's start with data requirements. When you evaluate types of AI systems, consider the following. What formats of data do you need for your project? What would be your input data? What would be your desired output data? Different types of AI models and applications accept and generate different formats of data, such as text or images. How often will your data need to be refreshed? Depending on your business objective, data might need to be refreshed daily or weekly or monthly. And for some applications, such as medical diagnostics, a continuous stream of real-time data might even be needed. Next, what source of high-quality data do you have at scale? It could be owned by you or coming through partnerships. Remember that the focus should be on proprietary data. For example, if your company is looking to use AI for pharmaceutical research or drug discovery, then data on molecular structures and biological pathways might be needed. So data will need to be refreshed frequently as new findings emerge. And the AI system you choose should be able to handle the scale, that complex interactions, and analyze vast quantities of data. Or, if your company is planning to use AI to improve the accuracy of demand forecasting, then data on past sales performance, economic indicators, reports on industry trends, and customer behavior might be needed. The system will need to assimilate large data sets in different formats and continuously update as new data becomes available, and then generate accurate predictions for different products and markets. So now, let's transition to the type of AI you need. This is basically the AI engine you want to implement. If your goal is to use AI to create product designs, you might want to use a system that has specific capabilities for 3D modeling or animations. Or if you're interested in using AI to improve customer service, you might want a system that excels in natural language processing or chatbot development. Or you might want a system design or product schema that is a mix of workflows and generation and automation. Once you have an idea of the type of system you need, there are 3 more considerations for you. The first one is implementation. How easy or difficult will it be to implement this type of AI in your company? Consider the technical resources, the personnel, the cost, and the time needed to integrate the model into your business processes. Second, scalability. Can the model scale with your business? You want to choose a type of AI that will be able to grow with your company, rather than becoming obsolete or struggling to handle the increased volume. And lastly, transparency. Are you able to understand how the model is making its decisions? Transparency is crucial for establishing trust and can help you fine-tune the model over time. With this information fresh in your mind, I want you to pause this video and write down your specific requirements to ensure you're selecting the best solution for your needs. Implementing AI can be complex, so don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. If your business is just getting started with generative AI models or AI in general, working with industry experts, partners, or third-party vendors can be a great starting point. Many vendors can provide you with an established AI system, help you with data management and integration, and offer the technical support and expertise to help you get started faster. Just like in every process, when you try to select the best partner, look for reputation and experience and customer support and obviously pricing. Make sure that they can satisfy the requirements we outlined in the previous section. Some of the largest tech companies in the world, such as Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Nvidia, or Adobe, offer a variety of generative AI tools for a wide range of applications. There are also other companies that offer specialized solutions. The most important thing, though, is knowing what you need. Now, some of you are considering whether it's worth working directly with AI research organizations like OpenAI. That really depends on your capabilities. If you have a highly specialized project and you have the internal expertise and resources required to successfully implement AI on your own, then that might be the preferred route for you. Be sure to take the time to assess several options. At this point, you should have a basic understanding of how AI might become more integrated into your business. But now, let's talk about how you bring your team along for the ride. As a business leader, you are in a unique position to help drive positive change within your organization. Think about how you can encourage your team to embrace and lead with AI. I'm a big believer that you can't manage what you don't understand. By demystifying this technology, you can address any fears or hesitations your team might have and empower them to become ambassadors for innovation. In the next section, we'll learn about the limitations of AI today and why it's important to keep responsible AI principles in mind. That will help you and your team develop a more rounded perspective of what's possible today and what they can expect next. Remember, you and your team don't have to be technology experts, but deepening your collective understanding of AI will help you make more informed decisions moving forward. Before we finish this section, I have one more recommendation for you. Given the novel nature of this technology, it can be extremely beneficial to empower your organization to actively participate and experiment with new ideas. For that purpose, I would propose you create a lightweight playground or sandbox environment to help your teams experiment with ideas in a low-cost, safe way before they go and build a full plan for them. The next big idea for your business can come from anyone in your company. So if you can foster a culture of experimentation and innovation while keeping responsible AI principles in mind, you'll be well positioned to reap the benefits of AI as it evolves. At this point, you might think, wow, these generative AI models are insanely powerful, and I want to get started with implementing them right away. Well, not quite. Today's AI models still have many critical pitfalls and limitations to keep in mind before you start working with them. Avoiding these mistakes can increase the chances of success for your project. I would expect that many of these pitfalls and limitations will get better over time, but in the meantime, it's important you'll be actively aware of them. Now let's go over the 10 top pitfalls and limitations. Number 1 is an oversimplified view of your objective. As we discussed, the most important thing for any project, especially in AI projects, is setting the right objective and plan. Your AI output will be as good as you set it up to be. And an oversimplified view of what the objective should be can easily lead your algorithm and your company on the wrong path. Number 2 is high computational costs. Generating new content often requires significant computing space, power, and time. You might hear about it as GPUs or computing power constraints. GPU stands for graphic processing units, and they're often used for parallel processing in AI applications, which can really speed up computation time. However, if your AI system does not have enough sufficient GPU resources, this can limit the system's ability to handle large datasets or generate results quickly. Furthermore, as we learned before, you might want to fine-tune the model with a private instance of your own, and that increases cost and can become prohibitive unless the ROI is there for you. Number 3 is algorithm hallucination. Unlike humans, AI doesn't know how to say, I don't know. In other words, it might make up things. This is a serious limitation of AI. and can occur primarily when the algorithm is trying to overfit on a small or biased dataset, which results in generating outputs that are not representative of the real world. It's key that you treat AI as a source of input, not a source of truth. In case AI is directly interacting with users or customers, ensure that you have the guardrails in place to avoid unintended consequences. Number 4 is staleness. Generative AI models are susceptible to stale knowledge. In other words, the agent of systems developed can be limited by the data they have been trained on. This has implications for long-term effectiveness, as they might not be able to keep pace with fast-changing contexts or environments. Number 5 is restrictiveness. Generative AI models do not do well when it comes to access to basic information, such as telling the date or doing basic math calculations. Many algorithms are designed to work with text or image data, and that could limit the scope and capability of those systems. Number 6 is interpretability. Many AI models tend to be black box systems, meaning it can be difficult to understand why they generate a given output. This is problematic when trying to effectively diagnose errors or improve model performance. Number 7 is token constraints. A token refers to a unit that the generative AI system is able to process at one time. It puts a limit on the amount of text that the system is able to accommodate, whether as input to the system or output out of the system. The amount of input is critical for success. The more you can bring nuanced and unique input into your prompt, the better and more accurate your solution could be. Token constraints can limit the types of data that can be used for training or the scope of problems that the system can address. Number 8 is the ability to keep state. Keeping state or memory is essentially the ability to remember past inputs and build off them in order to generate outputs. Think of it as a working memory, short-term or long-term. For some of AI applications, this ability is crucial. For example, a natural language generation algorithm might need to remember the context of the conversation so it could generate a response that actually makes sense. Similarly, a generative art or music algorithm might need to remember previous brushstrokes or notes in order to create a cohesive work. Without this capability, AI could struggle to generate accurate or coherent outputs. Number 9 is data quality and availability. We already discussed the importance of feeding your AI with high-scale and high-quality data. If your algorithm is learning from bad, low-scale, or biased data, the outputs it generates will be similarly biased or poor quality. Number 10 is about ethical concerns. AI can be used to create fake content or could be used for malicious purposes, such as creating disinformation or deepfake videos. It could also create copyright violations by copying content when it's not able to create something new. This especially happens when it's trained on a very small sample size. These issues and more raise a range of ethical concerns that need to be considered. Data quality and ethical concerns are so important that I wanted to dedicate a separate video for them. So let's talk about that next. An ethical and responsible AI approach is critical to avoid unintended consequences. While AI is a powerful technology with the potential to bring transformative positive change, it can also carry inherent risks and concerns. When it comes to developing AI applications, specifically generative AI ones, it's important to be mindful of the importance of ethics and data privacy. Here are a few guidelines to keep in mind for ethical AI development. Number 1, transparency. As AI becomes prevalent, transparency becomes more critical. Companies should strive to be transparent with their use of AI, whether that by disclosing the types of data used in their algorithms or by explaining the decisions made by the system. Number 2 is bias. As we already learned, AI learns from data. And since data can be biased, so can AI. Leaders should be careful to proactively ensure their AI systems are designed to avoid bias or discrimination, in order to provide equitable outcomes for all customers they have. Number 3 is data privacy. Protecting sensitive customer and company data should always be a top priority. Companies should be thoughtful about how they collect, how they store, and how they use data, adhering to data privacy regulations and implementing best practices to ensure data remains secure and confidential. When it comes to protecting customer data privacy, there are 3 specific actions you should take. Know what data you have. To protect customer data, you need to understand what you're collecting and why. Know which data is sensitive and ensure it receives the highest level of protection. Establish clear policies. Your company should have a clear procedure to safeguard customer data that complies with local laws. Educate your employees. Employees must understand the importance of data privacy and the role they play in keeping customer data safe. Your company can provide training and resources to ensure employees know how to handle data responsibly. By taking these actions, companies not only comply with data privacy laws, but they also build trust with their customers by demonstrating their commitment to data privacy. Another potential risk with AI is intellectual property violations. If your company uses AI to generate content, it's necessary to ensure you're not unintentionally infringing on any copyrights or trademarks. To avoid IP violations, make sure your company is compliant with copyright and trademark laws, which could be unique to your local markets. Understanding these laws is the first step to avoiding violations. As you can see, the ethical challenges posed by AI are quite complex and multifaceted. One of the most material things a company can do to address these issues is to ensure that humans are actively overseeing the development and application of AI. Some key steps in this direction include, number 1, establishing reporting and feedback mechanisms that allow customers and employees to flag problems. Number 2, thoroughly reviewing any prompts and outputs that are generated programmatically in order to catch potential issues early on. And number 3, educating users of AI content about the responsibilities when incorporating it into their own work. These are just a few steps. But for a fuller understanding of the role of responsible AI, check out the course notes for more information. Futurists often talk about how the difference between science fiction and nonfiction is just a matter of time. I agree. In my previous course about developing an AI-first mindset, I discussed the incredible potential of artificial general intelligence and how that future is very near. The velocity of AI has exceeded my expectations since then. We are living in an era of unprecedented innovation, and that's not about to slow down. I believe it will accelerate. As we discussed in this course, it's clear that AI will continue to play an increasingly important role in every industry. As the technology becomes more accessible, accurate, and cost-effective, we can expect this trend to continue, with more and more companies adopting advanced AI applications in their day-to-day operations. It will no doubt have a lasting impact on society. Instead of trying to predict the exact future, I'd like to share with you a mental framing of what changes we should expect. Here are a few dimensions to consider. Number 1, advancement in algorithms. Generative AI algorithms are continuously evolving, and there are still limitations in terms of accuracy, speed, and generalization. I expect these algorithms to evolve and become more and more sophisticated over time. Number 2, reduced demand for computing power. Without GPU constraints, AI systems could handle larger datasets, perform computations faster, and deliver results in near real time. And number 3, allowance of more tokens. Without token constraints, AI could be used to address a wider variety of tasks, as they'll be able to better equipped to handle longer and more complex inputs. And lastly, computational resources. GPU and token constraints are some of the most common bottlenecks. But AI systems can also be limited by other computational resources, such as CPU power, memory, or storage. As these constraints are lifted over time, performance will continue to improve. This would mean more accurate predictions, greater efficiency, increased capabilities, faster iteration times, and more creative outputs. Imagine a continuously evolving, better brain. These advancements will compound over time, as each cycle will pave the way for the next one. While generative AI models will be used primarily in a few use cases at first, they will likely expand, increase prevalence, and become broadly used over the next few years. transforming industries, and creating new opportunities for businesses. The impact of AI on society will be undoubtedly very large. While society is still getting warmed up to the idea of self-driving cars, imagine getting used to the idea of AI-powered doctors or AI-powered psychologists. It will also become very personal and intimate. Imagining a dedicated AI model that runs across your phone, your computer, your photo albums, your voicemail, and every piece of digital footprint you have. Imagining its ability to understand how you think, how you talk, and how you act. Now couple that with deep fake technologies that can mimic your voice and image with extraordinary precision. As you can imagine, this concept goes well beyond the metaverse of extending our identities online to being able to mimic our identities, at least based on what's possible today digitally. This brings with it enormous societal challenges that will continue for the foreseeable future. This is probably the right time to mention that as AI continues to evolve, we can also expect regulators and governments to increase focus on responsible AI development, with new policies and laws overseeing the use and applications of AI. Throughout this course, we discussed AI's extraordinary ability to extract and generate insights and information from large datasets. Basically, it can comprehend and then regenerate all existing knowledge. But what about creating completely new knowledge? Can AI come up with new scientific ideas or scientific hypotheses? Imagine AI coming up with new answers or solutions for some of the biggest scientific mysteries we have today, such as what is dark matter and dark energy? How does the brain create consciousness? What is oneself? What is the correct interpretation of quantum mechanics? What causes Alzheimer's disease? AI cannot answer these questions, yet. Currently, it only operates within existing knowledge. But that can change, and AI can become better at extracting and generating insights and informations, enabling it to come up with new hypotheses or theories. At that point, we're looking at a whole new frontier for the human race.